Hola, this is a video to go over the syllabus for the summer for an online class. So this is Spanish 102 and we start with my information. Here is my name. I already explained you that my name has my first name, no middle name, and two last names. Villa is my father's first last name, and Fernandez de Castro is my mother's name. It's a long one because it's a medieval last name. And those are my two last names. And since I'm from Spain, Spanish men and women keep both their last names from birth to death, even if they're married. So those are my two last names. This is my office, but I'm not gonna be in the office this summer. So if you wanna talk to me, what you need to do is send me an email to this long email with my whole last name in it, and we'll schedule an appointment to have a video conference. We'll have the video conference either through Skype or through Zoom. So just just email. I'll be on my email all the time, so we can talk about that. Um, this is my Skype ID, by the way. Course description. This is first year of Spanish second semester. We'll be talking about languages and Spanish speaking cultures. Keep in mind that there are many different cultures or cultural groups that speak Spanish, so we won't study every single detail of each of them, but a general view of them all. Of course, we'll have emphasis on communicative skills and basic structures and vocabulary, and we'll do it through listening, speaking, reading, and writing in cultural context. We'll try to use authentic language in this class, and of course, we'll do it all through our computer. Prerequisite is either taking Spanish 101 or Spanish 101B, or having had 2 years of high school Spanish before this class. The learning outcomes, oopsie, this got moved. Here they are. Is we have two learning outcomes for this class. One is a redacción, a composition, a narrative using usually past tenses that you're going to be learning in this course. And the second outcome we have is to understand everyday spoken Spanish in relation to daily activities and common situations. The course objectives, you can read them on your own and ask me with an email if you have any question. And in relation to course structure, this is an online class, which means that the instructor, myself, I'll be more of a facilitator and manager of information. I will provide the materials, and you will have a lot of responsibility on your own because you will have to teach yourself these materials. Of course, always with my support and my help, but it will be a lot on you. This means that you're gonna have to dedicate a lot of work, a lot of hours, because this is a five credit course. That means 15 hours of work a week minimum. You'll have weekly assignments in the super site and on Canvas, and you will be responsible for those. And there will not be late work accepted in this class. So these are the rules, but always remember that the basic rule behind all these is that I'm here for you and I'll help you with anything you need. You just need to contact me to let me know because I will not know otherwise. You're going to be using Vistas, the textbook, 5th edition, and this book comes with a super site code, a code that will give you access to the online textbook and the workbook, the online workbook. You can buy it in the library at Palomar College, in the library, not in the bookstore. Sorry, but you can also buy it directly to in the editorial company. You can click on this link down here, and I believe there's a better price in there than at the book at the ooh, I don't know what's wrong with my tongue. I think I need some coffee. A better price in this link than in the bookstore. But that's up to you. All I need is you to buy the code, get the book, and register right away in our class, because there will be a lot of work assigned every week, and this is an intense class. So as soon as you start, the better it will be for you. What you're gonna need in terms of technology for this class, and this is of course your responsibility. I always take for granted that if students don't have these basic technology things, they shouldn't take this class. So you should have a computer, a microphone, and speakers or headset, um, and you should make sure these work. If they don't work, I'm not gonna accept late work, so make sure they work ahead of time. The software we'll be using will be Canvas. That's our learning management system, and that will kind of centralize all the information. I'll put weekly assignments in there, and I'll open them before deadlines. I'll put quizzes, exams, forums, and also the gradebook will be there. We'll use Skype for communication as well as Zoom. Zoom will also be used to communicate between the two people in a group, and you'll do that for the oral presentation. The two partners and classmates will communicate through Zoom. We'll use YouTube if you want to put your presentations there. You can also place them in Canvas. We'll use Google software, Google Docs and Google Slides. You can use those for the presentation as well as signing in for your presentation. What else? You use Google Chrome to take your test, and the goal of that is that you can use Proctorio, which is a software that Palomar owns that will record you while you take your exams. And if you don't record yourself with this software, you will not have your exam graded. So, but there's more instructions about this later on in the syllabus and on Canvas. So don't panic about it. Don't be nervous about it. And the super site is the workbook that it's a code that gives you access to an online platform when you can see the textbook, see the videos that relate to the materials you're going to be learning, and also complete the assignments that I have assigned for you every day. Now I'm drinking my coffee, which is tasting like heaven. How is this gonna work? Well, I'll post the assignments on on Canvas at the end of the previous week. Everything will match the syllabus and the calendar in the syllabus, and you will have to complete these assignments, usually with two deadlines in the week, one before Wednesday and one before Friday. You will have at least one forum entry per week, sometimes maybe more. You'll have a mini quiz and an exam per chapter, and there will be one composition and one video project. Not late work will be accepted, so please keep these in mind. I'm especially concerned about high school students because I have a feeling that they haven't had this chance to be so in charge of their own education. So if you're a high school student, make sure you have a calendar that you follow and a schedule of work, so you don't leave everything for the last minute and end up failing on it. Course standards and other policies. Courtesy. I expect you guys to treat everybody as a college student, and if you don't, you will be reported to the college office of student affairs. I have no problem doing that because again, we are a college and we're going to behave as college students. Late work is not going to be accepted. If you're running into trouble technology wise or any other kind of problem, please let me know ahead of time, because I will not accept it late. this is a very intense class, only 6 weeks. So if you're thinking about traveling and you're not gonna have internet access for a long period of time, maybe you shouldn't take that class now because, again, there's no late work accepted. So please um, organize yourself. Communication and emails. Adjust the settings of your Canvas profile to receive all the email notifications from the instructor. This will be my way to communicate with you, and it's very important that you set it this way. You need to check your email daily. This is the only way we're going to be communicating. So if I have sent an email but you haven't seen it, if you're not doing what that email is saying that you should be doing, that is not my fault. That will be on you. So please make sure you do this. You check your email often. Another thing is that you need to use your Palomar College email account, because if you don't, I can't answer your emails. Work submissions will be through Canvas. I will not accept emails instead of that. So please don't send me emails with your composition. Things will be done through Canvas, and there are deadlines in there. Cheating and plagiarism includes using online translators, Google translators. You don't put a sentence in a translator and then write it in a paper, because that is cheating. That's a sentence that hasn't come from your own brain, your own critical thinking. So one thing is to look for a word in a dictionary. Another thing is to enter a verb that is conjugated in the past. That's a different story. If I detect any usage of online translators or the help of a friend that is Spanish speaker, I will certainly report it to the Office of Student Affairs at the university, at the college, and um, and that will be considered an act of misconduct. Um, if you have questions about what is okay and what is not, please talk to me ahead of time and I will explain it to you. I don't mind at all. We'll spend the time to make sure everything is clear. A equals excellent work. Just by doing everything I ask you to do, you don't just get an A. It needs to be um, work of very high quality to receive an A. These are deadlines to drop the class. With no grade on record, you have it here. You can check those in the syllabus. Um, Accommodation and special needs, I'll be happy to help you. Please contact the Disability Resource Center and talk to me about it. I'll do my best to try to help you. But please do that at the beginning of the semester, not um, after the semester is done or after the assignments have passed. I'll be happy to help you. Monitor your progress. Grades will be placed on Canvas and you'll see how you are doing. You also have the grade categories in the syllabus. So no surprise at the end of the semester. If after the first quiz or test you think you're not doing okay, that's the moment to kind of think back and see what didn't go so good or what could be done differently. And you can have a conversation with me and we'll look at it together and we'll see what we could do to get better. So you are responsible to monitor your progress and ask for help. And I'll be very, very happy to help you and try to get a better plan. Before talking to me, though, I want you to have a list of the things you're struggling with and your specific questions. Spanish only. Listen, I know this is a challenging rule to receive every video. You're going to receive this in this class in Spanish, and having to talk Spanish in your videos and writing in Spanish, that is challenging, but that's the only way we can make this work. And hello, you may have to be in this class because you have to complete credits, and I understand that I've been in that situation too, but my thinking in here is imagine that having to take a class because of a credit obligation, you go and you actually enjoy it and you actually learn Spanish. Wouldn't that be great? If at the same time that you're completing mandatory credits, you are actually learning. So, my goal is that you fulfill your credits, but you also learn Spanish because that would make you a better person, in my opinion, a happier person and a more desirable person when you apply to other colleges or jobs. So use body language, use drawing, use cognates, and you'll survive. If you are prepared ahead of time, everything will make sense. Assignments. The Supersite is the online workbook that will be done in the with the code you buy. Um, every week there's two due dates. One is on Wednesday, another one is on Friday. But in chapter 7, the first chapter you're gonna be studying, there's a little bit different situation, and because it's just week 1 and 2, I'll give you until the end of week 2 to complete all the assignments. However, that doesn't mean you need to spend the night of the Thursday before the due date working on it. I give you the recommendation on what to work on every day. So please be smart about the time you spend working on this, because I know it can be really stressful when you have 7 hours of homework and only 2 hours to finish it, and students get frustrated, they get mad at me, they get mad at themselves, and nobody wins with that. So hopefully you're a good time manager and can deal with this with no problem. Most of the times my students that are taking the online class are pretty good at that, but there's been a few times in which students had trouble with it. Exams, there will be one exam per week. Each exam will cover one chapter of the book, and you will take these exams on Canvas. Accent marks and other special features will be needed. So please go ahead and familiarize yourself with how to put accent marks in your computer. Canvas has some files that tell you how to do it, but if you have a special type of computer that is not in the Canvas list of symbols, please Google it and learn how to do it, because it will be required. Um, Another thing is that Palomar uses a secure exam proctor. This is a software that will record you while you take your test. It's important because it's a way to know that the work you're doing is really done by yourself and not by your computer. The exams will not allow to use the open book or online translators or the internet. It will be only you and the exam, and no one can be there helping you either. So we will be recording you and your screen. So keep this in mind. And before doing the exam, you want to do the installation of the software. You're always going to do it through Chrome. And I have some instructions here for you to follow. There's also some, Palomar College has these recommendations for minimum computer requirements, just for you to make sure you can install Proctorio properly. If you run into problems with Proctorio, there's a Proctorio help button here with a live chat that will help you with the technology part of the test. If if the help you need is more with the materials, then you can of course contact me. So um, I would recommend you not to leave exams for the last minute, just so you can solve any problems you have with it ahead of time. Before, if you do it Friday at 11 and the deadline is at midnight, that won't be much time to complete it. So, or to solve problems if you have them. There will be one composition. The composition will be done on Canvas, and you won't be allowed to use a dictionary or the book. It will be based on chapter 10, vocabulary of chapter 10, and also the grammar structures you have learned in chapter 10. So again, check the symbols to put accent marks, because you will have to be writing those if you know how to, of course, and that will be important in here. And the cultural project will be an oral presentation that you will complete in pairs. You have to sign in a Google Doc that is right here. You will have to find a partner, and you will present your slides. The presentation will be on a Hispanic person, somebody that speaks Spanish in the world. You will record it together through Zoom. That means one student can be in California and the other one can be in Wisconsin, and they still can do this presentation together. And then you will place it in YouTube, and you will put the YouTube link in Canvas, or you can also place the presentation directly on Canvas if you rather do it. Um, One more thing that no, nothing else. I already told you about the. Oh no, one more thing is that each student will record their own slides. They will share the work, and each person will record their own slides. So the grade will be different in both students. It won't be a shared grade. It will be an individual work. The final exam will be cumulative. It will include question and exercises from the beginning of the course, but it will have more emphasis on the last materials we have worked on this class. Um, there are no makeup dates for this exam, so plan your life, your traveling, and everything else, because you will have to take it before the deadline. There will be also weekly discussion forums. Um, the deadlines for these forums are twice a week. The video will have to be paused before Wednesdays, midnight, and the two written comments, 40 words each of them, will have to be done before Friday. And the deadline in Canvas shows up as Friday, but remember there are actually two deadlines, one for the video on Wednesday, one for the video on Friday. Um, you need to write accent marks and other special characters, and do your best, because there's a 20% value of the grade for this assignment. And then every week you'll have mini quizzes. Most of them are scheduled for Wednesdays, and they're tiny little quizzes based on the videos, the grammar, the vocabulary that you're learning in each um, week. So if you do your daily work with the supersite and the daily studying, you'll be good for these mini exams. And you have up to 3 times to take these quizzes. This is a summary of the categories in your grade, important dates, and this is the oopsie, went up. This is the calendar. Like I told you, on week 1, you're supposed to buy the supersite and familiarize yourself with the system. And by Friday, you already have to complete these assignments in the supersite. However, the actual deadline I gave you in the supersite will be the 28th in week 2. I recommend you to do it before week 1 is over. That way, on before this Friday, you don't have all this to complete, but only this part. Does it make sense? I hope it does, because I don't want students stressing in my course. I want happy students. You see exams by Friday, but mini exams on Wednesdays before midnight. It changes a little bit on week 5 when you have the composition, and also week 6 when you have to turn in the cultural project, and you'll do those in Canvas. Week 7 you have the mini exam, but you don't have a chapter exam, because you will be spending your time working on the final exam. That will be the week after. For the last week, you only have a forum and a final exam, and I'll give you the week to complete this exam. So I hope everything makes sense, and like always, you can email me if there are questions or something is not really clear, and I'll be happy to respond right away. or as soon as I can and try to help you with your questions. Hasta luego y empezamos el español.